to discuss whether or not Barcelona is the best team in the world because, well, quite frankly, they are. And okay, look, Manchester City is the best team in the world, okay, because what they have shown over the past few years now. And if we had to do a power rankings, I have to say I would put Barcelona number one. But I can't say Barcelona right now is a better team than City or even Real Madrid, who've actually looked really poor so far this season. Because, well, we need to prove it just a little bit more. This is a City and Real Madrid team that's really dominated over the past few years, and a couple of months is not gonna shouldn't to move everybody too much. We need to see a little bit of consistency. We need to see at least we need to see at least up to January or something. I think that's a good measuring stick for Barcelona because anything can happen. But man, this is a team that's just ridiculous. The goal scoring capabilities. It has to be some sort of record. It has to be some sort of record. It's historic. It's a historic goal scoring record that Barcelona are going through right now. I believe I was seeing the statistic. I'm trying to pull it up. So this is FC Barcelona's actually highest goal scoring start ever, with 55 goals in only 16 games. 55 goals in 16 games. That is 3.4375 goals per game, about 3.4 goals per game. A little bit less than three and a half. A very little bit less than 3.5 ball games. A tiny bit less than 3.5 goals per game. That is a ridiculous number. 55 goals in 16 games. 55 goals in 16 games. I know we live in the modern era of football in which there's a lot more goal scoring and there's a lot more attacking play, but not 55 goals in 16 games. That's not normal. That's not normal, and not many people are talking about this too. How many games have Barcelona had this season with 7 goals, 5 goals, 4 goals, 5 goals, 4 goals, 5 goals, 4 goals, 3 goals? It's almost been consistent. It's almost consistent about them now that we expect them to, put 5 past Sevilla, put 4 past Bayern, put 4 past Real Madrid, put 5 past Belgrade, put 3 past Alaves, 5 past Young Boys, 5 past Villarreal, 7 past Valladolid. We're almost expecting this at this point. And that's the scary part of your, any other team. And the great thing about how Hansi Flick plays is, Hansi Flick, even if they're very, very open and they play a really, really high line and they press very aggressively, they're still, all of his teams, despite that very open-ended play that they go about it, they still have a good defensive bone to them. They still, don't concede many goals, and that's the difference between what we see in Barcelona and an example company in Bayern Munich. They're conceding quite a bit of goals, Bayern Munich have been in the Champions League and Europa League. You can't say that for Barcelona. Barcelona scored only conceded 11 goals. I believe that's tied for the third best defense in La Liga. I believe so. Third best defense in La Liga. That's tied for. They're tied with Real Madrid actually for the third best defense. But the only difference between them and Real Madrid is they've both conceded 11 goals. But Barcelona scored 40 while Madrid has scored 21. They've almost doubled what Real Madrid has scored. Now, obviously, Barcelona has played 12 games. And Real Madrid has only played 11, so that does have an impact to that. But again, they played an extra game and they still only conceded the same amount of goals as Real Madrid. So that's also, different ways you can look at that. How high they are. Barcelona, this is a relatively new style of play. They're not relatively this open in the past. They have tiki-taka, of course, and they have, they pick their chosen moments to suffocate teams and press. But a lot of how they dominate games and create their chances is through tiki-taka, possession-oriented football, and that's how they create their opportunities, essentially passing the ball in the back of the net. with how they're playing right now, it's a lot more vertical, it's a lot more direct, there's a lot more balls in behind, is a lot more, you know, it's just much more direct, and it's much more reliant on the pace to win, on the press to win the ball back and to create opportunities by winning the ball in dangerous areas. And then when you're on the ball, you don't, there's no wasting time. Play that ball in behind. Try to get Rafinha running in behind. Try to get Robert Lewandowski to, drop down, link up, and get that ball eventually in behind to one of the wingers to, show off their dynamism and their ability to go at defenders. And it's been a very, very fun thing to watch, because Barcelona right now, they're playing some excellent football and they're an enjoyable team. If you're a neutral watching it, you will enjoy. If you love football, you'll enjoy watching this Barcelona team. This Barcelona team plays roulette football. It's a very beautiful way in how they go about it. And Hansi Flick, he's just a successful manager, man. What he did at Bayern Munich, obviously it was a failure at Germany. There's no sugarcoating that. But sometimes managers are just built for the club stage. They just need that day in, day out with the team to implement their system. And it seems like Hansi Flick, him and international management just didn't fit well together. Maybe that day in, day out, not having that, didn't allow him to implement his aggressive nature that he has as a club, as a manager naturally. And there's a lot that Barcelona, the scary thing about Barcelona as well is this is a team that shouldn't be doing what they're doing up to this point this season. With the injuries that they have suffered, losing they lost a La Masia holding midfielder. I forgot its name, but he thought he was going to be the answer in replacing Sergio Aguero or Sergio Busquets. He gets injured, and now up comes Marc Casado, who's their third option in that position from La Masia, and he's been holding it down. And it's just ridiculous. You look at some of the injuries that they've suffered. Also, Ter Stegen being out as well for the season as well. And the fact that it's always a transition having a new manager. We thought next year was really the year that they should start challenging again. But this year, they're looking like a team that's already ready to challenge. And it's so impressive. It's so impressive what Hansi Flick has done, trusting the La Masia players as Joan Laporta, loves him, loves the fact that he does. He said it actually in one of those webinars that he does. The fact that he trusts La Masia, I thought, maybe it would be a little bit hesitant to play how he would play entering because he wanted to ease it into this team. But the way that they've come high-flying right away, some of the resurgence of players under him, you look at the resurgence of players like Rafinha, Robert Lewandowski under Hansi Flick. Yeah, right now, if I had to do a power ranking, they would absolutely be number one in the football world. There's no arguing that they have the best form. They're number one in the Champions League. They're having a really, really good run they're number one in the La Liga. 9 points clear of Real Madrid, obviously. Real Madrid have Real Madrid have a game in hand to be able to catch up to Barcelona, but 9 points already is really, really good. They've had a really good start as well in the Champions League. After that opening day disappointing loss to Monaco, I think they've been absolutely special, Barcelona, and absolutely I'd put them number one in my power rankings.